And I emailed Sam several of my concerns, which included Calvary's capitulation to people like Levi Lusko and the Hillsong movement and Rick Warren and even Joyce Meyer and Joel Osteen and a lot of these concerns. His response, likewise, was decidedly hostile. And so I'm going to briefly read what Sam wrote to me. This was Monday, June 27th, 2016, that Sam wrote this to me. 9:35 in the morning. This is in the context of a larger email where he's basically saying, you don't have any right to critique these people. I mean, he just dismissed basically everything I said. And he sums it up by saying, I encourage you to look at the extremely fruitful ministries of Stephen Furtick, Carl Lentz, John Piper, Beth Moore, Christine Kane, Rick Warren, Louis Giglio, Joyce Meyer, Joel Osteen, and Brian Houston, founder of Hillsong. So he gives me a who's who of false teachers list and tells me that I should look at their extremely fruitful ministries, capping off the list with Joyce Meyer, Joel Osteen, and Brian Houston. It's, again, this would be laughable if not so tragic. This is what a leader of one of their Bible studies and their web development team, their web servants, told me. I don't know who filed this complaint against me, but I know that from this list here, the web servants, the people that control Calvary's online media activity, at least that's what I presume web servants to mean, the leader, the head, the department of that is Sam Garcia, who has a preceding animosity toward me based on this June 2016 email exchange. So, did Sam have something to do with this? I don't know. Of course, it says Skip Heitzig's name on the video here. That's whose name is listed as filing the copyright claim. But who did it? Probably maybe the web servants. I don't know. Whoever deals with Calvary's, web activity, I would presume. So he says Joel Osteen is a fruitful minister. In case you needed convincing at all about who Joel Osteen is or why he's not a fruitful minister, here's just one of potentially thousands of clips that could be played. An interview from Huffington Post. Listen.
But we've just got one more question coming through. Boring File Clerk says, what's your view of the current Pope? The Pope has obviously been reaching out and has been a force of moderation in comparison to his predecessors. What do you make of it?
I think the Pope is fantastic. I just think his tone, his humility, his, I loved when he said the other day, and it's our view too. We're not trying to, make this a little bitty narrow thing. Anybody's welcome. We may not agree, 100% on doctrine and theology, but you know what? The church, Catholic Church, our church, it's open for everybody. So I like his tone, not pushing people away, but I believe God's big and his mercy is very wide.
Well, it's true that God is big and it's true that his mercy is wide, but Joel Osteen's switcheroo there from Matthew 7, that we're not trying to make this a little bitty narrow way. We want to make this a nice big broad way. Oh, you mean the one that leads to destruction, Joel? We may not agree on doctrine and theology. Only the two most important things that we should agree on. This is according to a representative and one of the heads of their department and one of the leaders of the Bible studies at Calvary Albuquerque, a fruitful minister of God, who says the Pope is fantastic. Now here's a conundrum. Skip Heitzig loves to quote Charles Spurgeon. He has often said in the past that Charles Spurgeon, the Prince of Preachers, is his favorite preacher. Loves to throw it. A lot of people do. But even Calvary's own Skip loves to throw Spurgeon out as his favorite preacher, right? Here's what Charles Spurgeon said about the Pope. It is the bounden duty of all Christians to pray against Antichrist, and as to what Antichrist is, no sane man ought to raise an objection. If it be not the popery of Rome, there is nothing on earth that can be called by that name.